Well, you are all in child's pose. You guys started class for yourselves. I like it. You're ready. And go ahead, get connected with your breath. So right before we started class, I got a text saying that my sister-in-law is in labor right now. So I'll have a niece or nephew possibly after class. This is kind of exciting. Not kind of, it is exciting. I hope it goes well for them, yeah. Walk your hands over to the right or left side. It doesn't matter which, because we'll get both. Use your breath to help awaken your sides. And after 2 or 3 breaths on that one side, you're going to go over to the other. Yeah, if you haven't caught that other side yet, go ahead, move over. And then come back to center. And as though you have balls underneath your hands, I want you to come onto your fingertips, press the wrist forward. And you can rock the wrist forward and back, and it helps also awaken the shoulders, scapulas. Coming into tabletop. Next inhale is cow. Yeah, and then exhale, cat. Shoulders press up, chin in towards your chest. Move with your breath. Inhale is cow. Exhale is cat. 2 more rounds on your own pace. And then linger in that last cat. Stay for another breath. Downward facing dog. And I like how you all are kind of greeting yourself in the integration part of Journey into Power, right? Like slowly waking up. I saw like bike pedaling the knees, the fingers spread nice and wide. Yeah. Shoulder integration's going on too. Well done, right? All right, feet forward, top of your mat. Halfway lifts, forward fold, and then hang and ragdoll. You can take cleansing breaths if you need to release some energy. You got 4 more Ujjayi breaths here. Yeah, be like in creation for yourself, finding space. A little body scan, like where's tension showing up, getting present to it, and then softening through those areas. And knowing that you can shift your practice at any moment to what works for you. All right, come up, extended mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift thoracic spine in. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths in this down dog. Adding in Drishti, to keeping it about 1.5 feet in front of your toes. Drishti moves forward, top of your mat, right? You're watching where you're going, feet step forward, in between your hands, halfway lift, Forward fold, gaze at your toes, and then press into the feet, come up, extended mountain, gaze goes high. Hands to heart center, take your gaze to your fingertips, forward fold. Halfway lift. Gaze top of your mat, low plank. Maintaining that drishti, up dog. Now the gaze goes up, yeah. Downward facing dog. That drishti now about 1.5 feet in front of your toes to keep that length in your neck. And I called drishti throughout that sun A. I want you to add it in for yourself on this next one. Feet forward, top of your mat. Noticing where your drishti goes, halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Low plank. Up dog to down dog. Two breaths. Feet forward, top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain. Forward fold. Yeah, really flowing with breath now. Halfway lift. Low plank. Up dog. To downward facing dog. One more sun A, feet forward, top of your mat.
I'll put it on mute.
Perfect, okay. Thank you, Julie. Forward fold, press into your toes. Had some technical difficulties here. We got it back though. Extended mountain, reach up. Fold down. Use your inhale to create a halfway lift, and then low plank, air out, squeezing into your center line. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Feet forward in between your hands. Halfway lift, fold. We're starting sun B, sit into chair. Your drishti, finding a point to focus on, to take your gaze to. It could be your fingers, or you see them and then kind of like look past them. There's a point on the wall possibly. Just try like focusing though, setting that intention of gaze. And like when we slow it down and we really fine tune a pose, especially maintaining that drishti, I tell you what, I want to come out of the poses so bad when I add this, right? Like I have to be focused and I have to be present with myself. And I usually bring in so many distractions, right? Like, but for me to stay, I add in that breath. So add that in for you guys, right? Like take that deep inhale and then squeeze into your midline and like recommit to the pose. Your next exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, and then you'll take your vinyasa and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Yeah, great work. Right foot steps forward, warrior one. As you rise up, find a point to focus on, to look at or through, and stay. Yeah. About shifting the gaze, right? Like getting present, mind-body connection. Let the knee come forward, and without looking at the knee, trusting yourself. Yeah. Your next exhale, low plank. Gaze goes forward, top of your mat. Up dog to down dog. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. Setting the foot, setting the gaze. And then firing up, igniting the muscles. Stretching out the legs, sinking into your front knee. Right, now fingers stretch. Your next exhale, low plank. You'll take the vinyasa and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Just giving yourself the space and time you need for breath, right? Letting it be your flow. Feet forward, top of your mat. Halfway lift, fold down. Chair. Exhale, sit low. Create length through your spine. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Low plank. Hugging into your center line. Triceps pull into your sides. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Right? Planting the feet and then rising up. Low plank, flush it out. Right? Your drishti, where is it as you take the transitions and meeting in down dog? Where does the gaze go? Are you present to it? Right? And if you're not, know that you can add it in at any moment. Left foot forward, warrior one. Root down, rise up, set your drishti. Flow down, right? Your vinyasa, moving with your breath. Inhale is up dog. Exhale is down dog. Right leg lifts, flip dog. And then crescent lunge, right foot forward, hands at heart center. I want you to take your drishti to your fingers. Hands at heart center, your gaze is at your fingers, and you can even pull your hands away from your face a little bit so you don't go cross-eyed. Pit of the belly, and you're gonna tip down, left elbow. Maintain your gaze on your fingers as you take the twist. Yeah, left elbow down. Now with the gaze now at your fingertips, I want you to maintain the gaze on your right hand as you open up into warrior two. Let the gaze follow your right hand. Nice work. Reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Side angle, that your gaze follows your right hand down. Yeah, and there can be tightness in the neck and it might be uncomfortable. You might like your drishti high on the left hand in this pose. That is like getting acquainted with yourself and what you need. Your next exhale, low plank, gaze top of your mat. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Great work. Left leg lifts, flip dog. Crescent lunge, hands at heart center, left foot forward, setting your drishti. Tip forward twist, right elbow down. Your gaze will stay on the left hand as you open up into warrior two. Nice focus, way to stay with it. Reverse warrior, your gaze goes up with your hand. Sinking into your front knee. Gaze follows as you take your hand down towards the floor. Yeah, that left hand. See how like there's a flow in the practice when you hone in on drishti. Come back up, warrior two. Low plank. Gaze top of your mat. Up dog gaze goes high. Downward facing dog gaze goes toward your toes. Sigh out if you need it, yes. Feet forward, top of your mat. You're gonna take a halfway lift, thoracic spine in. Fold, rooting into your feet, then sit into chair, hands at heart center. Twist, right or left side. Your choice, right? Yogi's choice. Create length from your tailbone towards your head. Pit of the belly and deep into your twist. Forward fold, peace fingers in between your big toe and second. Create a halfway lift. Then engage your arms, elbows pull out, chin in towards your chest. Come back into chair. Twisting chair, opposite side. Gorilla. Elbows pull out, chin in towards your chest, bringing length into the cervical spine. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then the left side. Back to center, press into your feet, halfway lift. Fold, crow. Yeah, playing with crow, you get 5 breaths here. I'll be counting my breath, right? But like, just so you have an idea of time, you got some time and some space to be in creation here. Okay, to set your drishti with each breath, right? If you lose the drishti, know that that next inhale, you can add it right back in, plugging back into the pose. Exhale, pit of the belly in, trying to lift the hips higher. And then chaturanga, take a vinyasa, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Feet forward, top of your mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Really feel your feet as you come up into extended mountain. Eagle, right side. Pressing into the left foot, right knee on top. Right arm under. Okay, and then you have access to your arms right there for drishti. Elbows up to shoulder height. Great add-ons, and then thoracic spine in. Tadasana. Eagle, left side, grounding into your right foot, left knee on top, left arm under. Okay, where's the drishti as you take the transitions? Being in observation. Yeah, where does the drishti go as you come into Tadasana? Standing leg raise right side, right knee up. Yeah, right knee up, there you go. Knee goes out, gaze over. Gaze comes back to center, knee to center. Heel presses forward, straightening your leg. Lift that leg higher. And then bend your knee, send it back for airplane. Your gaze now goes to the top of your mat. And you might have mobility in the spine, right? The up dog quality in the chest to where you can get your gaze forward on the wall. Mine didn't get there in airplane until my spine started to open up until I started to gain space through breath. Yeah, so just be patient with yourself. If the gaze falls out, half moon. Yeah, you guys were ready. Set your drishti in half moon. Plug in. Tadasana. Nice and tall. Standing leg raise, left knee up. Knee goes out, gaze over. Yeah, reaching over. Back to center, gaze forward. Now the heel pressing forward, straightening your leg. Lift the leg high. Bend in your knee, airplane. Heel presses back. Yeah, you all, now you have your gaze set. So with the gaze, add in the breath. And the core work, squeezing in on your exhale. Pit of the belly in, you open up half moon, the gaze shifts. Either to the hand on the floor or to the hand in the air. Tadasana. And then extended mountain arms reach up. Right hand spins back. Grab your right ankle for dancer. And to help the knees out in dancer, imaginary block between the thighs. Press in there. Yeah, great work. Extended mountain. Left side, dancer. Knees in the same alignment, and then the knee pulls back. Like in a straight line. Yeah, great adjustments. And even like gently letting the left hip come down, that right hip up. It might play with your, it might affect the balance when you add that in. And like you're finding a new edge when you put that work in. Fantastic work. All right, Tadasana. Final balancing pose today is tree, right foot in. We're just doing it once on each side. So go ahead and grow your tree or your fullest expression. Yeah, creating an opening. Like even like for possibility, like how far back can you take your drishti? Release, other side. Tree, right, left footed. Yeah, and growing your tree when you're ready, moving with your breath. Shifting your gaze. Plugging into the floor, igniting the right leg for stability. It's like with this mini back bend, the tailbone descends, those front hip bones lift up, and then you play with your drishti, seeing how far back it can go. All right, release. Forward fold. I loved it. Halfway lift. Low plank. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior two. Open, or yeah, you open up warrior two, you guys are in it. Now the next pose is triangle, straightening the front leg. Bringing in a rotation into the right thigh, the outside thigh rotates down, the inner thigh up. And great modifications there. Wide-legged forward fold. Outer edges of your feet press down, arches lift. Come up, pyramid, right foot forward. You can interlace your hands behind your back for a chest opener as an option, and then you hinge forward, flat back. Twisting triangle, left hand down. Using your breath to create, to be in creation. Yeah, using your props to be in creation. Low plank. Your next inhale, up dog. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior two. Triangle. Straightening the left leg, hips tip back, reach forward. Plugging into the toes in the front foot, the mounds pressing down. Grounding through the back foot, outer edge presses down, the arch lifts. And then plug the big toe back down if it popped up. Really ground it through the feet so that you can then ignite the core, lift up through the arm, that top arm. Yes. All right, straddle fold, second one. Taking, the variation of straddle fold, your choice, either the twist or hands interlaced behind your back, something, right, that feels good to you and to your body. Aware of Drishti in this pose. Okay, and it's okay if it wasn't set, just observing what happens throughout class with your gaze. Pyramid, left foot forward. Being an observation of your drishti as you shift into pyramid. Pit of the belly in. Right hand down, twisting triangle. Low plank. Take your vinyasa. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Locust. Lean onto your stomachs, hands behind your back. Shoulders lift up on your inhale. Pit of the belly in on your exhale. Creating that rocking motion with your breath. Being present to your gaze. Release. Pause for one ujjayi breath. Right, and then your next inhale, reignite. Locust. Second one. Letting the flow come into your body. The flow of your life force, your breath, bringing you oxygen for your organs, your life force. Lower down. Floor bow. And if you've taken one on each side, right, go ahead, get the other side. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words a little bit in this, right? Grab the other side and floor bow if you're taking one side. Okay, release. Windshield wiper your legs left to right. Next pose, bridge. Plugging into your feet and into your arms, hips come up, full bridge. Rooting down to create some space, pressing through the toes. Lower. Your next inhale, pop back up, bridge. No, bridge or wheel. If you feel nice and warm, I like that, like being willing to try on what's next. Even in bridge, like what's next? Tailbone towards your knees, hip bones towards your nose. Lower. And then the final back bend today, bridge or wheel. You get 6 Ujjayi breaths to stay present, to add in the true north alignment cues. Drishti has been our main focus today, right? Are you present to your gaze? Are you present to your feet, toes really connected and grounded? Your breath. One final breath. And then lower, butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. Happy baby. Now we'll come into stability, hands underneath your low back, legs straight up. You're gonna take a breath together here as one, fill up. Head of the belly and legs lower 30 degrees. Toes pull towards you. Pit of the belly and lower to 60. Heels now 2 inches off your mat, shoulders lift up. You're hugging and you're staying for a breath. And now lower. Either hands can be interlaced behind your head, or you can take hands to opposite shoulders. I want you to take the left leg up. The right heel is going to be 2 inches off the floor. And then you're going to crunch up. Right? Left leg straight up in the air, right foot 2 inches off the floor. You're crunching up. Yeah. You got 10 more on this right side. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Maria, you're going to go ahead and keep that rotation that you had. Yeah. Okay, opposite leg up. And the right heel, I think it's the right heel 2 inches off your mat, or your left heel, and then create your crunch. Holding the legs, squeezing in, shoulders lift, right? Take the work out of your neck, let the sternum lift. And that might be shifting where you have your hands. Yeah, 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Nice work. Rock and roll forward and back, gain momentum. And shift into downward facing dog. And that core work today was definitely, I don't wish for it, work for it. You guys worked for it. You did fantastic. Right leg lifts, flip dog. Yeah, like we're moving into opening. Be willing like to come apart. Be willing to get messy. Like be willing to try on flip dog, like full flip dog. Half pigeon, right side. Setting an intention for this pose. What do you need in half pigeon to stay present? Like what's missing? And then give yourself a tool, right? You're in observation, what's missing? And then, right, a tool to add in. If it's breath that's missing, I mean, add the breath. Grounding, and how could you ground down? For me, it's pressing a body part into the floor. Downward facing dog. Observing your drishti as you transition into down dog. And being in observation as you move into flip dog left side. Observation of your drishti. Freeing yourself, right, in the pose, allowing the fullest expression to happen. Half pigeon. Plugging in what you need for half pigeon on this side. That's downward facing dog. Taking your time. And then once you get into down dog, alternating your knees, bending. Transitioning into release our seated forward folds. Observing your drishti as you shift to seated. Right foot in, reaching for your left foot. Being present to your gaze as you take the transition into the other side, left foot in. Reaching for that extended foot. Both feet out. Chin in towards your chest. Right ear to your right shoulder. You're reaching for your toes for sure. And then take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Chin back to center. Reverse tabletop is next. Grounding through your feet and the palms of your hands. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Next pose is fish. Sitting onto your hands, elbows pulled toward your spine. Pressing the elbows into the floor, sternum lifts up. Gaze goes back. Next up, your inversion. Inversion of your choice. Child's pose, legs up the wall. Forward fold if you want to stretch your hamstrings. Restorative bridge. Being present to what your body said, right? Listening to that gut instinct, putting yourself into the pose that you needed. Our body sends us signals to let us know what it needs. And we have to slow down sometimes to really get present to it. Sorry, like we hold. I usually feel the stress in our bodies, like our bodies hold our experiences, right? Trusting that your gut instinct. And how do you take that off your mat? Right. For me, one of the ways of listening to myself, right, listening to that gut instinct was through food and having food allergies, food intolerances. It's like I knew something wasn't right, like after I'd eat. But I, like, for the longest time, I was just like, it's what it is. Yoga is what got me present to how I was feeling. To slowing down and to listening to the signals my body sent. And then I gave myself the tools. I reached out to the doctors and said, hey, this is what's happening. What could it be? All right, come out of your inversion slowly. We're moving in now to deep rest, setting up for supine twist. Right knee in, taking it over towards the left. Yeah, so like getting present with yourself and acknowledging like a tool that you could benefit from. You need something to add in to get you to where you want to be. Maybe the goal of a pose, this pose, maybe a goal off your mat. I'm telling you, those goals can be small, even like getting the laundry done, right? Like a tool, what tool would it take to reach that goal? Come back to center, switch sides. Moving into Shavasana. Letting the breath cleanse your body, like through cleansing breath. A sigh out, releasing. Letting the body, the tension dissolve down towards the floor. Any stuck energy holding on, letting it dissolve with a cleansing breath. And being patient with yourself as you roll over onto your side, knees in towards your chest. Pausing there, pausing for a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for what you offer this world, the lightness you bring to it. Coming up to seated, hands to heart center. Closing your eyes. Let's take a breath in as one. Empty out. Thumb knuckles up to your forehead. Together we say, Namaste. Great work today, you guys.